Hello everybody and welcome to the very first episode of the KCCFC TV, a platform that will be bringing to you weekly updates about the football club that is KCCFC, what you need to know about the football club, that is the press conferences, the coach's word, the captain's word, legends. There'll be a segment about the legends and the social media craze from all our digital platforms. Things like the moment of the week, the sponsor's message, a profile about at least a player every week. And we also caught up with some of our fans that wrapped up what the season was all about. What was their biggest moment of the season? What was their worst moment of the season? Where do they feel a little bit grieved? And this is a platform where our fans will be letting it all out. My name is Magero Moses Mwanje, and I'll be your host for the KCCFC TV. Now to start it up, we'll start with our development side, call it the junior team or the soccer academy. Now, recently the federation, which is FUFA, came out and made a decision and said that the Juniors League for the 2019-2020 season was declared null and void. Now remember, this is a season that started, I think, late last year around November and was supposed to go until around June. Because of the coronavirus, we could not continue, playing football that is across the country. So this also affected the FUFA Juniors League. Now this is a league that KCCFC has never won. We've made the finals thrice and have lost on 3 occasions. And you felt that probably this could have been the year that the club registered success in the FUFA Juniors League. A lot of players playing at the football club right now, and many that have left have been through that development side, and the biggest group of players are currently playing at the football club. Now, when FUFA made that decision, KCCFC junior team was first in the treble group and was leading that group with 48 points from 14 games, and they had won 13. They had only lost one game and had scored a total of 53 goals, conceded 9, and with 9 bonus points with a goal difference of 44. Now, you might be asking, how do you get a bonus point in the FUFA Juniors League? When you win a game with a difference of 2 goals, could be 10-2, could be 3-1, that is a difference of 2 goals, so you get that bonus point. So you get 4 points from a win. So they only lost one game, and that was the first game of the season. And I think practically that could have been because of a lot of players were new and they were just not used to playing with each other. But because of the subsequent training sessions that happened after, the players got used to each other. But despite the league ending prematurely, just like that, there's people or there are players that you feel that needed a special mention. Because, even in a crop of close to 25 players, there are those players that you felt stood out for the football club, that is the soccer academy this season. And the first one being Mawa Oscar. He was the top scorer of this league that has just been declared null and void. You may not get this gong, but we'll have to just give him that credit. He scored 16 goals. This is a senior 4 student at Gombe High, a very promising youngster who has a lot of hat-tricks scored so far for the football club. And the other being Otim Jerome. He scored 11 goals. He was playing as a second striker. He had a couple of moments where you felt that probably he was knocking on the door and trying to show the coaches for the senior team that maybe it is that time that he makes maybe at least the bench on the senior team. But he was able to travel with the team when the team traveled to Masindi to play Doves FC, that is in the Stanbic Uganda Cup. The future is bright for that one. And Opio Sunday, this one had a debut for the senior team. He scored on his debut. That was against Toro United at home. That game ending 1-0. He scored 9 goals for the junior team. He's a senior 5 student at Masaka. It's one of our school of excellence as KCCA Football Club. As much as the team had a lot of goal scorers, those were the 3 that we picked out, but then there were the providers, the top assists. That's Opio Sunday. He had 19 assists. Remember, we just told you he had 9 goals. And then the other was Mwanje Elvis. Mwanje Elvis made his debut for the senior team against Doves FC. That was the last game the senior team played before the pandemic, the break happened because of the pandemic. So he had 10 assists, that's Mwanje Elvis. He came on as a sub in that game. I think that was for Saddam Juma in that game against Doves FC. A very brilliant midfielder, also a student at Masaka SS. Those are the key players that we at least picked out. The future is bright for the soccer academy, just like we told you that many players have since moved on from the junior team to the senior team. I don't even have to mention names, but you know them. So the future is bright for these youngsters. And with all these reforms that we hear, that could probably happen for the junior team, one thing that we tell you as the football club, that is KCCA, we are not looking into getting rid of these youngsters. Even without the Juniors League, we'll still keep our kids because we know that the future of the football club is from the junior side. And now the senior team, oh wow, the season started with, the seniors coming with that trophy that had eluded the club for 41 years. That is the Sekafa Clubs Cup. That was from Rwanda last year in July, that's 2019. So from Kigali, straight away the team got into the Super Cup, and they won that one. Now the Super Cup is a trophy that is played by the winner of the league for the previous season and the winner of the Uganda Cup, and that was against Proline. You can see emerging winners in that one. And next was the Pilsner Super 8. Because we were the inaugural winners, we had to, give others a chance. So we lost that one to some other team. So from the Super Cup, that was the Pilsner Super 8, and this one is by the 8 best teams probably from the previous season, sometimes chosen by the federation. And now because we were the inaugural winners for the first edition, that was in 2018, the 2019 edition, we still made the finals, just like, it's a given. We just have to make the finals at least for every tournament. This time we're not able to win that one because of some reason the team was coming in from playing some games from the continent. But yeah, Vipers won that one. That was 2-0 at Wankulukuku, and we straight away got into the season. Now the season has been a roller coaster. A lot of things have happened. We've had players leave the football club in the middle of the season. That was Alan Okello. We registered some sweet wins like the 1-0 win against Vipers, that is at Lugogo. We had very many, good wins. There's that win that we got against Villa. That was still at Lugogo, and a couple of good scores. Youngsters have been ushered into the team. That is Sam Senyonjo, student at Masaka SS, Opio Sande, just like we mentioned from the junior team. Been a lot of positives to, take back home from this season. And just like it was for the FUFA Juniors League, the same happened to the Uganda Premier League and all competitions in the country. FUFA evoked one of the rules that is in the FUFA competition rules and still declared that the league ends where it was. That is, call it aborting the league. And KCC had to settle for first runner-up, and we played 25 games. We had a goal difference of 21 goals and 50 points from that's 25 games. You felt that probably if we had played those 5 games, a lot could have changed, but rules are rules. We had to take whatever happened. But the positive we get from all this is the club will be making the CAF Confederations Cup tournament, that is for the 2020-2021 season, because FUFA still used one of the rules and nominated KCCFC as the club representative for Uganda for the 2020-2021 edition for CAF Confederation Cup. And because we really value our stakeholders, call it the fans, the sponsors for the football club, and everybody out there that really has something for the football club, we had to release a statement by the football club in just summarizing everything that had been decided by the federation and what the club's stand was. So we take everything the federation had to decide and we took it in positive faith, and we just accept everything they said. And it just summarizes everything, the state of the club and the stand for the club at the moment. And we will just straight away fix the missing pieces of the puzzle, just like we issued in our statement, and that will be it. Now this part of the show is called the Fan Zone segment, a part where fans get to air it all out and say it as it is. It could be something that really maybe pisses them off about the football club, something that makes them happy about the football club, their best moment when they got to become a KCCFC fan, which what prompted them to become a fan, and all that. So mu kitundu kino ekyashe eno tujja kuwa abawagizi baffe omwaganya okwogera eri abalabi baffe mu nnimi zaabwe ez'enjawulo nga batubuulira ku bintu nga ebibanyiiza. Kati nga mukana akanyomero tulinamu abawagizi nga batugamba ku bintu byasinga okubasanyusa mu season, okwogera ku musambi ki yabasingira bo nga bo, buli omu ng'awo endowooza ye, biki byayagala bikyusibwemu ku football club okulaba nga tugenda mu biri bye twagala okugendako okutuuka ku ziri club eziri waggulu ezitusingako, n'ebintu ebirala bingi nnyo. N'ekirala okusinga ddala okuwumbawumba season 2019-2020 yabagendera etya.
Nze Kasenge Tom John Fisher, nze president w'abawagizi ba KCCA FC, ba championi ba Uganda, banantamegwa bawano, Bakawo Boys. Ligi y'omwaka guno tesobodde kuggwa, tuwulira nga kituyisizza bubi kubanga omuzannyo oyagala ne kiggwera ddala n'omanya nti kiwedde, omusajja mmezze naye bwe kiwedde nga bwe kyawedde, sigaddemu agamba nti gino egibuzeemu egi gye tasambye oba oli awo twali tusobola okudda engulu ne tweddiza oba Nantameggwa bwaffe naye bwe kibanga bwe kyazze bwe kiba kyazze bwe ki.
Amanya nze Nanyondo Max poza abangi bamanyirya champion cause manyidde okuwangula ebikopo. Nali ndowooza nti engeri gye wali wabulayo emipiira 5 nga tuwagala only 4 points okutuuka ba champion kati ba Vipers. Nali nsuubira bulungi nnyo era nga tuli beetegefu nnyo nti tujja kutwala ekyo ekikopo. Olw'ebigwa bitalaganye twagenderawo tewali buzibu omukisa gusanga oyo yeetegese obulungi. Yali nsobi yaffe obutakulembera ttemu.
My name is Sophie Najemba, the Vice President, Finance and Administration, KCCA FC Fans Club. It was a great season. We had lots of expectations. It's so unfortunate that it ended prematurely. However, with the 85% that we played, there were so many great goals.
No yadde tetuwangudde ekikopo. Waliwo okuwangula Sekafa, ekyo kyansanyusa nnyo cause nali sinalabako ekikopo kya Sekafa ku KCCA. Mpozi n'okuwangula Vipers ate nga bajja beepise nga bamanyi bagenda kutukuba wano ne tubakuba then ate waabwe ne tubakozesa draw. Kati ezo 4 points zankolera bulungi nnyo era those are my best moments.
When we were playing against Maroons, that header, that Odemugu, you know, we were under too much pressure. The tension was too much. This is a player that was under so much fire from all of us, the fans, and he gave us the winner against Maroons. So to me, that was my goal of the season. It wasn't the best goal, but was a goal that I would live to remember.
Nga toyinza kuddira ttiimu mpanguzi nevamu abazannyi nga bwe bagenda bwe batugendako bawanyi mu defense bakyambadde mu maaso bakaddu bonna ne bagenda omulundi gumu naye ne musigala nga muli ttiimu n'antawunyikamu ate nga temuguze bazannyi bantu be bayita ab'omuzinzi nti muguze abazannyi abali awo nti muspendize sente nnyingi nnyo n'olwekyo management etukoledde ekyenjawulo era manyi nti kilabu nnyingi zitubuuza mukikola mutya.
Every season we get to see a breed of new players coming on board. This season we got quite a number, and to me most of them were outstanding. However, there are two that stood out for me. Why they stood out for me? They did a great job. I would first of all talk about Giftali. I think to me he was the most improved. Why? He came in at a time when there was lots of criticism from us, the fans. Most of us preferred him to some other player. However, he managed to silence us, and by the end of the season, we were yearning for more. We couldn't wait to see what he would offer us in the next game. It's always good to watch a defensive midfielder doing so many things with the ball. Then the other person was Herbert Achai. I think I'm also I'm a controversial fan. I like players that fans always criticize. He was criticized from day one, but he grew in his game. By the end of the season, he had picked up, and there are crosses he used to give. There's an assist he made here, and I was like, you people, do you see what you've been criticizing? Can you now keep quiet and support the boy? To me,
tiimu yaffe y'abaana bano abato ogenda e Rwanda ndi omu ku baagiwerekera ebbanga lyonna lyeyaliyo nebanga yasobola okukola kye yakola ne tukuba abasajja bonna ne tukuba n'Azaamu. Azaamu gy'eyita enkulu eteri mu ddibu lyonna naye ng'abafu abakulu baali basigadde mu nsonga endala ezaali zibakutte abaana ne bazannya ne bakuba buli kiramu. Ndaba ng'ekyo ate kyatuteeka ku level ndala nnyo.
Mbaniriza mwena KCCFC TV. Inze amanya n'eddoboozi Kassim Kyaze omwagizi wa Uganda Cranes KCCFC. Yavedda nga wagira KCCFC okuva nga nkyali wa myaka 15 paka kati. Omupiira ogukyasinze okunyumira ng'omwagizi gw'omupiira gwe twatambula ne tuva wano n'abawagizi baffe bonna ne tugenda e Tanzania nga tuyita mu nsi ez'enjawulo. Twayita mu Kenya ne tugenda twali tutuusa awo e Kenya awo bayitawo e Nakuru ne basooka bayimiriza basi naye tulina abawagizi baffe ne tubagana tugenda nabo twagala ogenda e Tanzania lwakuba tebasobola kugenda olw'embeera naye ne tubeerako awo ne tulya emmere ne tulya buli kimu kale ne mpira nga nnyumira okuba nti negasiddwako abawagizi abali mu nsi ey'enjawulo ate nga nabo bawagizi ba KCCFC. Sawe ne tukuba eddiba tusamba abasajja kyasinga okunyumira omwana gwe bale balaba ng'omuto Serwada n'asooka kyankalanya ekisaawe buli omu yeewuunya Serwada ekintu kye yakola kale nanyumirwa nnyo nti Batanzania baali bangi ate nga twali batini ne tusobola okuba nti twabasobola okuba nga tubakupa ne tubawangula ewaka ne mu kibira.
Nze moment eyasinga okunyiiza yali ku mupiira gwaffe nga tuzanya URA endejje. Ba ref tebaalamula mupiira ogwo bulungi era nayisibwa bubi nnyo era essaawa zino bye biseera bye mmanyi nti kyekyasinga otutwazaako ekikopo kubanga gemu twali tugimaze nga ndabidde ddala nti tugenda gitwala naye ba ref baatukola bubi nnyo.
Basically kati nga ku mupiira gw'embalala nti klabu yaffe ate waliwo embeera nti kochi twamuleka e Kampala nti ate abasambe bamu tebajja kyemanyi nti kiri ku kimu ekitulemeseza ekikopo kino oba otukwogaba ekikopo kino nga siffe tuli ku tebo waggulu then ate nga tiimu etuta ekikopo nze temasiza nti ntuufu otwala ekikopo ekyo ebadde ino kirwanirira paka ku ssaawa esembayo
naye tubaddemu n'emipiira gye tulowooza nti gye gitulemeseza n'okutuuka mu mbeera vipe okutwala ekikopo. URA bwe yatukubira omusajja emirejje twali tusuubidde nti emipiira egiddirira twali tuna consolidatinga nga buli ogutuyita mu maaso tugubalanga final ne tugikuba bulungi naye tebyajja bulungi mwawo ne tutagalamu nja kuyita kutagalamu nekitakola bulungi naye tetujja kuzirika ffe tusigala nga tuli b'amaanyi. System zonna weeziri, mechanism zonna weeziri, administration ennungi, technical bench nnungi, abaana ebitone tubirina naffe abawagizi passion tugirina ffe ng'abawagizi ekikyali ekizibu kyaffe ekinene ate kati nga tusanisa okufuna some breathing space yembeera y'ekisaawe kino. Enkuba etukubidde mu kafo kano, enkuba enkubira mu kirasha wali nga nkuba engoma zange n'abayimbi bange, enkuba yatukubakuba abasajja b'e Congo bano simanya baataho simanya baani abo netukuba nekutuka nekawala ak'omunda naye tukigumira olw'omukwano ne tuba nga tubaawo tiimu ne tugiwagira. Abazanyi baffe tubaagala nnyo, abazanyi baffe batweyagaza nti bali mu mbeera eyeyagaza, bali mu mbeera eraga nti balina future.
Wow, fans. But anyway, those are their opinions and we'll also be coming to your doorstep to get that opinion, what you have about the football club, I mean about the season, maybe where do you feel there should be a change going into the next season, and a lot more. Naye kati tulina mu moment yaffe ya week nga tugenda muhuumula. Mustafa Kiza ne banne balina akantu ke baakola awo ate nga akayimba akazanyira mu background ye CAF anthem akantu kali kasufu nnyo ng'ojjako erabirako.
There are people who believe in us and make sure the world knows about us. They connect us. They help us move. They care for us. They're there when we need them, making sure we look good. It's because of them that we are who we are. Catch us play the beautiful game live on Sanyuka TV, channel 222 on StarTimes. Thank you for believing in us.
Now, before the coronavirus pandemic hit Uganda, and before we got into, that lockdown that was late March, our final game that we played before we got into the lockdown was against Doves FC. That was in Masindi, an away game in the round of the last 16 of the Stanbic Uganda Cup. Now we were able to win that game 1-0 and we qualified to, for the quarterfinals of the Stanbic Uganda Cup. that is for the 2019-2020 season, courtesy of a Sadat Anaku first half goal. That was a header, very brilliant goal by the youngster, also a graduate from our development side. And a lot of positives that we recorded from that one, being our final game. At least we didn't know then it was going to be our final game, at least for the season. But I mean, a lot of youngsters were given a chance to, show everything they had to show. We had debutants in that one. We had Mwanje Elvis making his debut. We had Juma Ibrahim making his senior debut for the football club. We had Mwerusi Ali starting goal. He has not been that much of a regular, but ever since Lukwago Charles got injured in the game against Express, he's been between the sticks and he has not really disappointed. So a lot of positives that we recorded from that one. Of course, qualifying for the quarterfinals. And because if we are to go by what Fufa said, that the Stanbic Uganda Cup still has a chance to be played. And who knows, maybe we could go on and even win it this season. Maybe to just give you a sneak peek of what happened ahead of the lockdown. Now, when we got to know that there was going to be, a break, because it was a 1 month lockdown at that time, the technical team headed by the fitness coach, that is Mr. Kadubadu, came up with a program that players were going to use during this lockdown. Kati mwalimu ebintu bingi nnyo ng'omusambi walina okwekuuma ng'omubiri agenda gukuuma atya nga guli mu shape entuufu ekijja omusobozesa okubeera ng'ali fit ng'omusambi, because twali tetumanyi ddi omupiira wegudda. Ali nekireba omusambi w'omupiira yenna olina okubeera ng'omubiri guli mulamu bulungi nga guli fit ng'oguliyisa emmere entuufu. So our technical team came up with that program and then they gave it to the players, and the players have been using it from the 28th of March, when we officially got to know that we were not going to play football again. Until to date, our players are using this routine, and they're really keeping fit, and they have a system where they get in touch with the technical team and try to know how they are coping, how their bodies are coping, and how they are really keeping mentally fit. That is together with the medical department at the football club. Kakati wetwali tugenda mu lockdown eno mu March anaatera okuggwako, twalina abasambi abamu abaali abalwadde era nga balina obuvune, abamu nga era tebasobola kusamba emipiira egyo egyasembayo. Era ojja kukiraba nga twalinako ne ku basambi abamu bwe twajja mu ttiimu yaffe eri Johannes development team, wa development side, ba junior team, ba Juma Ibrahim, ba Mwanje Elvis abajja okuziba emiwaatwa gyali girekeddwa abasambi abaali abalwadde ku senior team. Twalina abasambi nga Juru Hassan wetasobodde tusambirako season eno yonna. Season yatandika alina obuvune era n'agenda n'afunawo omusujja ogw'amaanyi ogwatuuka n'omuteeka ku ekitanda, naye nga tuyita mu basponsa baffe aba Britam Insurance ne basobola okuba nga bamujjanja. Era kati wenjogerera ali mu mbeera nnungi nnyo. Some of other players that we had that were injured were Sam Senyonjo, ono muyizi era nga ali muyizi ku Masaka SS, ali mu senior 6 era nga naye yalinamu obuvune, naye wenjogera kati agenda atereera. Twalinamu abasambi nga Charles Kwabo, captain waffe yalwala mpira nga tukusagenda osamba mpira gwa Express. Twalinamu Moses Aliro, yalinamu Green awo. Twalinamu Muzamiru Mutiaba. Twalinamu ne John Ravita. Now for this first episode, we caught up with John Ravita, shirt number 5. He just joined the football club last year and he spent 1 year at the football club. Unfortunately, he got injured in the game against URA Football Club away in Deje. Since then, he has not been able to play a football game, and even when he tried to get back, he still got injured again in a training session. I'm very unfortunate for him. Brilliant defender, the kind that you would really like. Classy, passes the ball well, very confident, even under high pressure. Unfortunately, he's injured. Every player, every coach would really love to have a player like John Ravita in his team. But then we caught up with him, and he told us how he's coping this lockdown and how he's being able to get back to full fitness despite him being injured during this lockdown. Take a look.
Joining KCCA, I knew it was a big task ahead of me. Of course, KCCA is a big club in the country, but I was happy. The fans welcomed me very well. The players, we bonded, and the coaches also gave me freedom. They taught me many things that I've added on my game. KCCA also has branded me as a player. They have pushed me on bigger platforms in that, and I managed to play big tournaments, the Sekafa, the Chan qualifiers. Even though I missed out on the CAF qualifiers, but I know I'll play the other CAF qualifiers with KCCA Football Club. Despite the league ending prematurely, I've had many positives from KCCA Football Club. Like I won my first Super Cup with KCCA. The coaches have added on my game understanding. I've got many friends from KCCA and the football world. I've added on my fan base because KCC and other teams have liked me and my game. And on the national team, I managed to help Uganda Cranes to qualify for the CHAN. KCC giving me that platform to showcase also. And we managed to win even the Sekafa with some of my fellow players from KCCA. In this lockdown, I have a normal routine of my time with my family, helping them in house chores, playing cards, and then sometimes I do my workout, the usual workout that I was recommended to do. But most of the time I really give it to my family because it's a time for bonding. As a player, I have many dreams. I want to win more trophies for my club. I also want to win more trophies for the national team and also go for professional football. This injury has been a setback to me. It has put a pause to my dreams, but I've learned to cope with it. I believe I can overcome this and play the game again.
So you've heard it from John Ravita. Because of that very good training program and training routine that the technical team was able to give to the players, he's able now to keep fit and try to make sure he gets back to full fitness and also work on his rehabilitation. So then mweno episode yaffe twakwatagana n'omu ku bannakinku abasambira club eno ya KCCFC omupiira mu myaka gye7 era n'amala n'agitendeka nako mu 9 nga gunaatera okuggwako mu myaka gye9 nga ginaatera okuggwako Mwami Tom Lwanga era nga setaga mwogerera nnyo kubanga yeeyogerera nga ye ali club director ku club ya KCCFC era nga bino bye bimu ku byatugamba. Tom Lwanga yani eri KCCF.
Tom Lwanga y'omu ku bazannyi ba KCCA abaleeta KCCA Football Club tukyagiyita KCC mu kibinja ekisooka kuba nasambira KCCA ni mu kibinja ekyokubiri ekyomukisa n'ensamba n'omupiira ogwaleeta KCCA mu kibinja ekisooka kati gye tuyita Super oba Premier. Way back mu myaka ga 1900 ndowooza nga 7 KCCA ejja mu kibinja ekisooka. Kakati mu bazannyi ba KCCA abasama omupiira ogwo ng'ate bakyalina bakozi ba KCCA nsigadde nzeka. N'abeerawo omuwagizi waffe muvubuka muto yali muto ng'abeera Kyambogo asoma Kyambogo abasoma arts atukolera akabonero kemulaba kano yakokola tuwangudde omupiira ogutuleeta mu kibinja n'agamba bannange essanyu lyange ffe nze nali simanyi kyekategeeza naye baati bo baba bamanyi n'akola akabonero ako n'agamba nze kyekirabo kyempadde kirabu yange niffe nga tetukitegeera nkitegeera luvannyuma nnyo nti kintu kikulu nnyo kirabu yaffe okufuna akabonero kano akabonero tekaliyo mu 6 nga batandika KCC kaaliwo okuva bwe twayingira mu kibinja histori eyo muyina kwe kuleeta akabonero kano okalaga omusajja yali ayambadde ovuro ne gumboots bagiranga ebisaaniiko mu Kampala babiteeka ku loole kati ye n'agamba nti ffe tuyoola muki mupiira waliwo mupiira nga gwe tuyoola batandika n'otuyita bakasasiro boys
era erinnya eryo likyaliwo lwabba nti akabonero bwe kajja bali abala nti bano bayoola bisasiro kati bole mabega tebalina nga kabonero konna nga tomuna kuyingira
tetwayina kabonero era ebiseera ebyo nga leero bw'osambira KCCA ekyoyinza okusambira endala ettiimu ezaali zimanyiddwa ebiseera ebyo yali express zinsambya maroons ezo balinga bagiyita prisons ey'amagye simba ziri nti nga zimanyiddwa nnyo okusinga eraffe ffe bwe tujja saagala kweyogerako ffe tuleeta KCCA okumanyibwa biseera ebyo Brazil ng'esamba nnyo era ttiimu ya KCCA yesooka okwambala yero mu Uganda olwa Brazil eyali kooki waffe Mr. Idandisali ng'ayagala nnyo Brazil n'abazanyi abasinga kwe bambala yero 2 n'ekitongole nga City Council kyalimu yero olw'ebimuli kakati tusamba omupiira olwo nga tukyali mu kibinja tujoyininze ttiimu eyo eyaba bajime Cheronda tuvudde mu Fiat abasajja abaalimu nga bagamba Bidandi gwe oyagala oba obwana batandika okugenda nga bavaamu omu n'omu tubeeramu Cheronda oyo yalina muganda we nga bamuyita Kityo ng'asamba nnyo nga naye muvubuka muto olwo tuzze bamusenze bazze bali bonna ne bafeezing out abakadde tuleeta ttiimu mu kibinja ekisooka omwaka ogwasooka batuli mu kibinja ndowooza history omulina ojja mwogerako twali bakubiri ne tulyoka tukwanibwa eki abantu bangi nnyo abakozi ba gavumenti abasinga batwagala nnyo ne forces naye ne forces zalina ttiimu zaabo omupiira gwe twasamba brand yaffe batandise ogiyita kasasiro style yellow boys abaana ba meeya bwetutyo
kitegeeza omupiira ogunyuma ogwo guvudde sitegwakatandika kati
omupiira ogunyuma gwava mu 74 era bino byowulira newowulira bagamba nti kawoowo twakasamba dda era ono abadde akaleeta buleesi ani Odrin kubanga Odrin naye yatuwagira mwana muto leeta ekigambo kawoowo kaaliwo kuva dda
kitegeeza tusobodde okukuuma ennone eyo kubanga obanga mu myaka gy'ensanvu omwasamba omupiira mwasamba ku mupiira gwa Brazil ogwo gwogambye gunyuma era nga paka kati gugukyasambibwa ndowooza era ennono ebadde ekuumiddwa
era bano abaana nze nsanyuka bwe mbalaba nga basamba bulungi kubanga kyekimanyiddwa mu KCCA abantu bonna bamanyi nti yo KCCA nsambi ya mupiira lwaki lwakawoowo kuba dda akawoowo bakatuyita dda kati bakikomezaawo bukomya baati waliwo time etwatuukanga ebintu si birungi nga recruitment nayo abazanyi abajja kubeerawo tuleme kuddayo naye tetuddangayokko ate tetubeerangako mu makkati gaki tubeeraawo bakuna bakutaano
era nakyo kyakwenyumirizamu tukuba otwajja efact sina kuba otwajja okuva omujijigo ogwaleeta ttiimu mu kibinja ekisooka tetuddangayo wansi
ate tetubeerangako mwaka nga tetulinawo akirikako tetulaga.
On behalf of the KCCA players, we would like to grieve with the family of late Jimmy Cheronda. We might not have had a chance to watch him play, but we have had a lot of inspiring stories about his career. He inspired a lot of players, both past and present. He won a lot of accolades for the country and the clubs he played for. Jimmy Cheronda, you were a great player and a legend to the nation and KCCFC. May your legacy live on, and may your soul rest in eternal peace.
And definitely, as a football club, we grieve together with the family of the late Jimmy Cheronda, his friends, and everybody that knew him. And I mean, plus even Uganda, I mean, he was a very big person for this country. We'll have a more detailed tribute for this legend that befits a person of his stature. But we can only say that may his soul rest in eternal peace. Now in this segment, we'll be having different profiles for the players. Here is where you get to know more about the football player, from where they come from, I mean their background, how they got into playing football, and the cheeky moments, what exactly happens in the dressing room, and him also telling you, I mean, his opinion about other players, maybe who's the most stubborn, who's the smartest, and all other things. And for this week, we'll have Kiza Mustafa, I call him the assist king, and now he has turned into a goal scorer for the football club. Take a look.
My name is Kiza Mustafa, KCCA player, a boy from Chivuli.
On the 2nd of February 2017, KCCA FC manager Mike Mutebi unveiled 6 young additions to his senior team from the junior side. Among them was a towering young man, Mustafa Kiza, smiling cheekily as he held his jersey with his name and number 12 scribbled on the back. This was the beginning of a serious career for the 18-year-old. A born of Chibuli, a Kampala suburb, Kiza started playing football as a goalkeeper for Zebra Soccer Academy, Sparta Online and JKL, but was never a starter, ever warming the bench. Hence his decision to dump the gloves and become an outfield player upon joining Maroons FC.
So I was a goalkeeper by then because I was too small, so I feared to play so that I can get injured easily. So I used to be in the goal. I reached at a certain level, so and I see that a goalkeeper can't be substituted, so it's hard for a goalkeeper to be substituted. So I decided I was I think in my academy that time. I joined the academy, so I was a goalkeeper, so I was the second choice. I started playing a little bit in front. The coach told me I'm going to start playing you in front. So I was like, yeah, it's a good idea, because now I'm seeing I won't play if I'm a goalkeeper. I'll just be sitting on the bench.
Perhaps becoming an outfield player was a heaven-guided decision. The versatile player was a gem in the central defense, left back and midfield for Maroons. No wonder he quickly attracted KCCA FC's attention, joining the under-17 side of the Lugogo-based club in 2015. A few years later, Mustafa became too good to play with the juniors, yet too young to handle the competition for playing time in the senior team. At that time, there was an on-form Joseph Ochaya, deputized by the experienced Isaac Muleme in the left-back position. A first-place team for the youngster was a tall order. To facilitate his growth, Mike Mutebi decided to loan Kiza back to Maroons, this time joining the senior team for half a season, and when he returned, he was the perfect package. Kiza is a gem at crossing the ball. The secret behind, only him can tell.
The secret beyond that is that self-belief and training hard. For me, every time I'm ready to cross the ball, but the most important thing is positioning. Position is the key. I position myself well so that I can deliver good crosses.
2017-2018 was the young lad's first full season with KCCA FC, but he instantly impressed, establishing himself as the god of crosses. The left wing back made 15 assists last season, the most in the league, and is already topping the charts for this season. It comes with hard work, he says.
Yes, I do some extra training to perfect the crossing, but not that much. The time I use this especially is when I'm in training. I utilize it and I perfect my crossing abilities.
It's hard to make count of the number of times he crosses the ball in a game. But don't his boots get worn out, or even his feet get tired? I wonder.
Boots they got spoiled quickly, but I have many pairs, so I keep on changing them. I often change them In each game I can use this, and the other game I use another boot. The leg doesn't get tired, but it's the whole body. Yeah, but the leg is always there if you need to use it, but the body, if the body can't work, so there is no need to use the leg.
Kiza was nicknamed Marcelo by his teammates for his style's likeness to the Real Madrid and Brazil defender.
My friends and my teammates call me Marcelo because they know I love the Brazilian left back so much, so that's my nickname.
Like other players in his position, scoring goals isn't his cup of cake.
Kiza is one of those players who has been ever present, playing in almost every department, and of course for police, they are no strangers to concede. What a free kick, I said it! I must say this is one of the goals of the season. He's one of the players, I must say, who has created so many chances, and he has scored a beauty of a free kick. Mustafa Kiza. I was just alluding to the fact that he's got one of the most educated left foot.
Like any other player, the soft-spoken lefty has a favorite playmate. Mustafa reveals that Uganda Cranes AFCON hero and KCCA FC striker Patrick Kadu does justice to his crosses.
I feel so comfortable when I'm crossing the ball to Kadu because I know when it doesn't hit the post, it will go surely inside. Yes, sometimes I feel disappointed when I give in a good cross when someone doesn't score, but that's my role. I might just continue bringing good crosses because that's part of soccer. There was a game, I think against Mutibwa. It was at home, yeah. I brought in like 5 good crosses, so I got a little bit disappointed, but I was happy. Then he later came and scored. I was happy for him.
All defenders have their tormentors. For Kiza, ex-Vipers forward Milton Karisa, now at Moroccan side MC Oja, was his worst nightmare.
In the league, the toughest player that I have ever faced is Milton Karisa. Wow, he's so dangerous. He can attack, he can defend at the same time. So he wasn't easy to defend because he had speed. He had power, he was so aggressive, yeah. He's my toughest opponent. And he even knows that because I used to tell him, you're my toughest opponent I have ever faced.
This 20-year-old soft-spoken lad is also a dead ball specialist and is responsible for taking corners, free kicks and penalties for his club and the national under-20 team. He reveals, though, that at times he gets nervous, especially while taking penalties for the national side.
Yes, I get sometimes nervous when I'm taking penalties, most especially for the under 20 and 23, because it's a really big challenge for for the country. You are the one who has to take the responsibility. Yeah, I feel a little bit nervous, but you have to go through those nerves in order to reach the greatness. Yeah, and yes, free kicks I don't feel anything because I know that's what I can do better. Yeah, so I just take those responsibilities in order to do my best and to achieve what I want.
Perhaps not surprising is that this youngster draws his biggest inspiration from his former KCCA FC teammate Joseph Ochaya, who now plies his trade with Congolese side TP Mazembe.
I think the first player, it was Joseph Ochaya. Yes, I liked the way he played when I was still a little bit young, yeah. And by the time I joined KCCA, so I've been trying to play like him, yeah, because he's really my role model.
Mustafa Kiza is coached by a known disciplinarian, Mike Mtebi, a man who takes no hostages in grilling players after a bad game. When asked the worst thing Mike Mtebi has told him, the youngster first smiles before he goes. Mike is a good coach.
Coach Mike Mtebi is a good coach, I hardly remember the day he told me anything bad for when I was from a game, because he doesn't talk when you are from a game, so he just keeps encouraging me day after day.
His dream still remains to play professional football not so long from now.
Like any other player, my dream is to play professional football here in the top flight leagues. So I'm working hard to see that in 1 or 2 years I play professional football. Yeah, because that's my target. That's why I keep on working and encouraging myself to work hard.
Football isn't all he does. The young adult loves headsets and music occupies him in his free time.
Now, as we wrap up this week's show, will be just to take you through maybe what you expect during this long break for the football club. I mean, there's going to be a lot happening. The club is going to sign some players. Definitely, we shall have some players who probably leave the football club. We'll be getting to know who will be leaving and who will be coming out. There's still a chance for the football club to win the Stanbic Uganda Cup. That is if the tournament resumes, just like the federation had said. So we hope for the Stanbic Uganda Cup to resume before the next season starts. That's if it resumes. We'll keep on playing because we qualified for the quarterfinals. And also, since we will be playing the CAF Confederations Cup, and we have made it a culture for us to be on the continent every year. So we will be also diving into the CAF Confederations Cup this time more serious than ever, and also vying for, top staff. Ngawe bagamba nti naazine nnyo amala n'ava mu ddiiro naffe kati ke kaseera ate tukusiibule tukuleke omuleko ku lwa Sunday luno. We will be back next week. Remember, this show will be every Sunday at 10 p.m. only on Sanyuka TV. And as we wrap up, just to let you know that we'll be leaving you something from one of our very passionate fans. Take a look.
Aye mama we kanso yetu ndio mzuri sana. Aye mama we kanso yetu ndio mzuri sana. Tulina kochi oyo ye mutebi oyata mumanyi gwebuza. Ababa warabu nabo gwe bamutya kubaya bakuba ne baduka. Tulina lukwago kipa mulungi nnyo akwata golo naye omula we oyagala omulaba jangu erugogo omulabe gwe ng'akwata go. Tutunza abaana neyo eburaya oba owakana buza gwe ne bano. Twatunda kokero mwana mulungi nnyo yali akacanga gwe nabo ne bato. Tulina seki oyo sekisambo wabakwatako abakuba nabo abasala ne bagwa n'eri n'omupiira gwe nego ne gunyo gwe. Aye mama we kanso yetu ndio mzuri sana gwe. Aye mama we kanso yetu ndio mzuri sana. Gwe wawa oyagala okulaba ediba jangu erugogo ku Filipo Mondi. Olaba omupiira nabo batyemu nga kanso egusamba. Kasasiro boys nabo baguchanga notyamu gwe ora anti bagise KCCFC TV yo TV yange. Woba oyagala okulaba essanyu lyonna jangu KCCFC TV olabe buli kimu, olabe omupiira, olabe abaana, olabe talenti ku KCCFC TV tovaako.